A few weeks ago, I made an appeal to any of our viewers out there that owned a Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus to please take a photo of your infotainment system, specifically the trip computer, as long as you had more than 500 miles on your trip, and send that data to us so we can compile some real-world averages. In our range test of this Model 3, the one that I am sitting in right here, we declared that the real-world range was somewhere between 192 and 195 miles, based on our consumption in this vehicle of about 3.85 to 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. As expected, we got a ton of pushback from some of the Tesla faithful out there, and that led us to make this appeal. And if you want to continue adding to our database of fuel economy numbers for the Tesla Model 3, you can take a picture of your trip computer right there in the dash. Again, make sure you have at least 500 miles on the odometer. Please do not send me text messages or just emails with text in them. I want the picture, so that way we have some more hard evidence here. We did get about 10 submissions or so in that were just text. They seemed like they were in keeping with the rest of the entries, but it's really hard to prove that. Send those to itsaconspiracy@alexandautos.com. You'll see that address down there at the bottom of your screen. But let's go over the numbers that we have collected here so far. We've had about 30 entries coming in. Those entries have spanned a total of 75,899 miles of driving in Standard Range Plus models. The average of all of these folks out there is 4.2 miles per kilowatt hour. The way we got that was by taking all the miles driven and then all of the kilowatt hours consumed, because you'll notice on the trip computer right there, it'll show you the total kilowatt hours consumed, and then just doing the simple division right there. That would yield a total real-world range of 210 miles in the Standard Range Plus versus the 192 to 195 miles that we were talking about in our video. That's not too far off. I'm pretty comfortable with that number. That's a 15-mile variance between those drivers right there on average and what we were getting. So I feel pretty comfortable that our test was a real-world test. Even better than that, though, in my opinion, is that when we start digging into the numbers, there were 8 people total that sent in data covering about 30,000 miles overall that averaged 3.9 miles per kilowatt hour. Our average, again, was 3.85. So that means that we have about 30,000 miles of driving data in other Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Pluses that support our overall real-world range. There were some folks out there that are also getting incredible range and incredible efficiency in their Model 3s. The winner for us was someone out there that got 4.99 miles per kilowatt hour. They did admit that they were not using their climate control while they were driving the vehicle. So no heat, no air conditioning, but they were getting 249 miles of effective range if you were going to use the entire 50 kilowatt hour battery pack. If you simply take the individual miles per kilowatt hour scores that folks sent us, things should average out to about 4.3 miles per kilowatt hour. But if we try and do a weighted average where we take a look at all the miles driven, all the energy consumed, things drop down to 4.2. Again, about 75,000 miles of overall driving of the cars that we have collected. If you disagree with these numbers, I encourage you to go ahead and send us a screenshot. Take your smartphone, point it right there at your infotainment system, take a picture. I want you to send us a picture with the software screen up. That will show us that you have a Standard Range Plus, which is what we're talking about here again. That is the model that we're driving right here. It will also show a trip computer on the left-hand side that has more than 500 miles on the odometer. If you have a lifetime average showing, that is definitely what I would prefer. And then show us the kilowatt hours total consumed, miles per kilowatt hour on the right side. Again, you can send that to itsaconspiracy@alexandautos.com, and then perhaps we'll put together another video if the numbers change versus what we're talking about here. Now, as I've said in previous videos of the Model 3, efficiency in this vehicle is unquestionably among the best in the industry. Depending on exactly your driving cycle, you could definitely get better overall efficiency in this than any of the other EVs out there on the market. But on the other hand, the battery capacity in the Model 3 Standard Range Plus is definitely below some of those larger packs that we see out there, the 64, 65, or even the 75 kilowatt hour battery packs that we see in the longer range versions of the Model 3. So again, depending on your overall driving style and what is consuming power in the cabin, especially if it's cabin heat, you will get lower range in this than some of those larger battery packs out there, depending on your driving cycle. As usual, feel free to sound off down there in the comment section below. Find us over at facebook.com/alexandautos. If you'd rather send us your image via the Facebook Messenger function, you can also do that over there. You can also find us over at patreon.com if you want to support us with the monthly pledge. I'll see you later.